The gym smells like sweat and leather. Fighters are scattered across the mats, throwing punches, grappling, pushing their bodies to the limit. And if you listen close, you'll hear something they all seem to agree on: traditional martial arts are useless. Kung Fu, that's just movie stuff, they say with a laugh. Put a Tai Chi master in the ring with a real fighter and watch him fold in 10 seconds. They've got the videos to prove it too, viral clips of so-called masters getting demolished by amateurs. It's become a running joke. The old ways are dead, they say. This is the modern era. This is real fighting. But there's one ghost that haunts this whole debate, one man whose story makes all that confidence crack just a little. His name was Bruce Lee. Long Beach, 1967. Picture this, a smoky arena packed with the toughest martial artists on the planet. Karate champions, black belts, guys who could break boards with their bare hands and thought they'd seen it all. Then in walks Bruce Lee. 5'7", 135 pounds soaking wet. To the heavyweights in the room, he looked small, almost fragile. Some of them whispered, some of them smirked, and one of them, a champion named Vic Moore, decided to test him. Moore wasn't just some random fighter, he was one of the fastest martial artists in the world. His hands were legendary, so when Bruce Lee issued a challenge, Moore was confident, maybe even a little amused. "I'm going to punch you in the face," Bruce told him. "I'm going to tell you exactly where it's coming, and I want you to try to block it." The room went dead silent. Moore brought his hands up, locked his eyes on Bruce's chest, waiting for the tell. He was ready. He'd done this 1,000 times. This movie star didn't stand a chance. 9 seconds. Bruce moved. Moore reacted. But by the time Moore's hands came together to block, Bruce's fist had already stopped an inch from his nose and retracted. It was over before Moore even realized what happened. "Wait," Moore said, shaking his head. "I wasn't ready. Let's go again." Bruce just nodded, calm, no showboating, no trash talk. They reset. Same warning, same setup. Bruce moved again. This time he didn't just stop at Moore's face, he punched, retracted, and was back in his stance before Moore's block was even halfway there. They did it 8 times. 8 times, one of the fastest fighters in the world couldn't even touch him. The laughter died, the smirks disappeared. In those 9 seconds, every doubt in that room evaporated. Because what they'd just witnessed wasn't supposed to be possible. The irony nobody talks about. Here's the kicker, Bruce Lee agreed with the critics. He hated the rigid, flowery movements of traditional martial arts. He called it swimming on dry land. He said if you want to learn to fight, you have to actually fight, not just practice forms in the air. When modern MMA fighters mock Kung Fu, they're basically quoting Bruce Lee without even knowing it. He stripped away everything that didn't work. He created Jeet Kune Do, a style with no style. He took what was useful from boxing, from fencing, from grappling, and threw out the rest. He wasn't some mystical monk, he was a scientist. The science behind the speed. Researchers have studied Bruce Lee's movements, and the numbers are insane. His reaction time, around 5/100ths of a second. For context, it takes you 3/10ths of a second just to blink. That means Bruce could throw a punch, pull it back, and be thinking about his next move before your eyes even closed. He didn't just punch hard, he punched smart. Every ounce of force started in his toes, exploded through his hips, and snapped out through his knuckles. Zero wasted energy, pure efficiency. And this was in the 1960s. While most martial artists were still breaking boards and doing kata, Bruce was running in combat boots to build ankle strength, using electrical muscle stimulation, and studying the footwork of Muhammad Ali. He was decades ahead of his time. Why it still matters. That silence in Long Beach wasn't just about one man being fast, it was a paradigm shift. Before Bruce Lee, fighters were loyal to one style, boxers boxed, karate guys did karate, that was it. Bruce proved that the best fighter wasn't the one with the most belts or the biggest muscles, it was the one who could adapt, who could flow like water, who wasn't stuck in tradition. Sound familiar? That's literally the foundation of modern MMA. If Bruce Lee walked into an MMA gym today, some people might see a small guy and underestimate him. But the second he moved, the second he unleashed that explosive, zero-distance power, the room would go silent, just like it did in 1967. Because the human body hasn't changed, the laws of physics haven't changed. Speed, timing, distance, those are eternal. The lesson. So the next time you hear someone laughing at the old ways or calling kung fu fake, remember the silence. Remember the 9 seconds when the fastest hands in the world couldn't even come close. Remember that the loudest people in the room are usually the ones with the most to learn. True mastery doesn't need to shout, it doesn't need to prove itself with words. It just needs to move, strike, and let the silence speak for itself. There will always be critics, always be doubters, but there will only ever be one dragon who made them all stop laughing and start learning.